I was like,
Hmm.
it don't gotta be nothing super formal anyway. We're here to talk about a song for Nia. You'll be our first guest on the series Spotlight. That's what we're calling it for now. Where we're gonna talk about all things, Pros Girl Production series. And first one out the gate is a song for Nia. So you wanna introduce yourself, Tasha? Tell the people who you are, what
Yeah.
your connection to the show is. All right, thank you,
Yes.
Krista.
Um, my name is Tasha Holmes, and I am playing Nia in a song for Nia. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful a ride. Just being involved in that. So
Yes, yes, yes. For all those who don't know, my name is Ebony Zamani. I am the director, producer, writer on a song for Nia, the overly ambitious creative that is bringing you this series through my production company, Pros Girl Productions. Pros Girl Productions is named after my great grandmother, Carlina Rogers. I always say she was the hardest working Black woman I knew. And, if I'm fortunate enough to do my creative work in the same vein that she worked in her life, and was able to accomplish the things that she did, then, I'm on the right track. So we have Amina here with us, who is our line producer on the song for Nia.
Hi everyone. I've been working with Ebony like since 2019, and it's been a journey and a pleasure. I love working with Ebony because she's such a great creative, and I love the story of Song for Nia. Um, and working with the cast and crew over the last few weeks for like a month and a half, it's been amazing. I had so much fun. I'm so happy to even see Tasha because feel like I was seeing her every week, and now I don't see her anymore. So I'm glad I got to see her. And even the people that's joining, I'm glad that you guys could join. And I'm excited to do the lives. I'm excited to tap in and check in and see what everybody has going on and just, see how they're feeling after production.
For sure, for sure, for sure. Very real. It's actually been more like 3 months somehow. We
mm,
were at it for about 2 months consecutively, and it's been about 3 months. Originally, we wanted to start in the middle of August, but schedules wouldn't allow us to do so. So we got started Labor Day weekend, and I was a little concerned about that myself because I know Philly, and I know folks like to be outside doing whatever it is they
Mhm.
doing. I can't see who's
oh
sending a
shit.
little.
Hold on.
And here goes Danielle join us alive with her bullshit.
Hold on. I'm trying to get it to go to you upside down.
I'm screaming.
Upside down. I'm on my because I got my head. Okay, I'm just have to hold it. I'm on my iPad. That's
Okay.
why.
Yes, Apple. Well, introduce yourself, Danielle.
Oh my gosh. Hey guys.
Hey there.
Hey.
I'm Danielle. I was the AD on a song for Nia, and we had such an amazing time. Still having a good time.
Yes. Despite all the challenges, the madness, all of the work, hard work, long hours, yeah, we're still having a good time with it. Tasha, so since we have you here,
Mm.
wanted to kind of direct the questions and conversation to you tonight. Darrell, don't be laughing at us in the chat. And wanted to direct the conversation and questions to you tonight. About your journey to Nia.
Okay. Um. Yeah, auditioning for Nia. I really I was interested in the story, and I really was. I thought it was really cool. But like with any audition, you're like you do your best and you hope for it, but you gotta let it go and pray it come back. And this was something that I was glad came back around for me. Um, the environment that you created and all of you created really made it very professional, but also very safe, to feel all these emotions. There are some of Nia's life is overlapping with mine, as which is life. Life be lifing, y'all. Life be lifing. So, um, experiencing. I don't want to say too much of what Nia's life is because y'all got to watch it. But just experiencing loss in family and what grief does to a person, and what guilt, them guilt trips that families do, meaning well, but they they don't know, they need to mind the business. But just understanding what that feels like and being in a similar space in my own life, it was a very safe environment to make sure I'm checking myself. If Tasha starts to bleed into Nia, like, okay, I can't stop crying. Y'all, can I get a minute? That was one of the things that I really treasured about this whole experience. Of everyone there was not only just professional, but just warm and understanding and giving space for the actors to, again, act, but then when things are feeling too deep, giving us a moment to breathe and getting back into it. And it's one of those stories, like I love the story of loving your family, but having your dreams, that balance and balancing others' expectations for you while you're, have your own expectations for yourself. It's a very real space. Like I said, it was some overlap that I felt was very timely for me to be able to step into her and tell this story that is so closely attached to you and your life. I felt honored to be able to do that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's it's been interesting. I felt like it was interesting to see something that was very closely personal. I think Steph. Yes, beautifully Blake
Thank
theme.
you.
That's
Oh,
that's
thank
that's what we
you.
that's what we aspire to all,
Yes.
all times. I'm like, and I got the mud club on today. I'm like, the quote Dr. Umar, this is a penny freaking projection. But no, no. Um,
Oh my
but no, in
God.
all seriousness, yeah, it's been really good to to just bring this to life, to see it come to life, to see it take on a life outside of me, outside of my pen and my own experiences and memories, and also things that I'm adding to the creative process and sort of through line and story. It was very personal, very emotional for me at times. It was good to be in a space by the time we got to production where I wasn't sort of so beholden or like tightly wound around like my darlings, if you will. I want things to be exactly like this and to go exactly like this and all of the things. You just kind of have to allow the process to take on a form and life of its own, in my opinion. And so like, you start with your script and you write and rewrite and get feedback and rewrite and you hope that the visual story that you kind of come up with and collaborate with your team, your crew, and your cast sort of mimics and brings a certain kind of light to the story in a certain kind of way. But yeah, all good things. I wanted to ask. I think I'm gonna be a little all over the place with this, but it's all right. Um, how we been feeling about the braids? I done had you in your Moesha braids for about 3 months. I said I know. I said one last time. We got another day on Sunday. We about to round out production, but I was curious, and what it made me think about as we kept having conversations about the hair and about the braids, and that's gonna be your look for season one. Like, I'm like, how the fuck was they doing that back in the day? Like Eric Alexander was in the bob braids for seasons. I was curious, but I'm like, natural hair care is important to me as well.
Yes.
I'm curious what that experience has been like for you. Like, is this the longest you've had to stay with the hairstyle for a character?
It is because because one of the things, continuity is very important, and so and my hair is a very particular style. So after a while, I was kind of like, oh wait, we just gonna be in these braids for the rest of 2024. Let's just make that commitment within ourselves. We just gonna
Ah.
be in these braids. The rebraiding and the rebraiding and the rebraid. I'm like, goodness. But I loved, being able to do it and having people who are like, all right, we're gonna do it. And the commitment to the process and this and I like braids. I like them. I mean, you know, I like my hair too,
Yes,
but it is all a part of the process, and I understood that going into it. So
yes.
it ain't that bad, especially if you like yourself with braids. I do like myself with some braids, but 2025, y'all gonna see Tasha with her little itty bitty. It's gonna be breathing
Yes,
in 2025.
yes. We're gonna give you some room to breathe, and then in future season, season 2, we gotta change up the hair for you. So you know.
I have a follow up since you were talking about here, Ebony. Let's get into the fashions. How did you feel about the fashions
Oh,
for Nia this season?
come on, because the outfits was given. Shout out the
It was
Right.
ring.
given.
Shout out to
Shout out to
The
Ray.
ring did.
Ray.
Right, you the best. I love the outfits personally. I told Ebony at the start, because she was asking me like, what kind of clothes you have. We were trying to get together a wardrobe that aligned with her vision for Nia. I had to tell her right away, like, my strengths are not fashion. So if you want Nia to be fashionable, uh, we're gonna have to have either you or somebody else pick the clothes, because my clothes are for comfort, not necessarily for matching or, you know, to try to keep up with the latest. I can't. I would love to have somebody do that. Like, Rain was amazing as the stylist, and Ebony, their powers combined had BB Captain Planet. Like, I was trying to figure out stuff, and I'm like, nah, let's let them do it. That's what they got it. They got it.
Right.
So I loved all of her style for Nia for season 1. It was amazing. It wasn't anything that I had owned out of my closet. Um, and I love
Yeah.
it made me feel confident and fun, and I'm able to even more so. There's something about stepping into the costume of your character that kind of helps you get even more so into character. And so I'm like, I could be this girl. I could be this girl. Please help me.
Yeah, yeah.
So I love it.
Rain was doing her thing. They
Rain,
really should let you. I know they do it on YouTube Live. They really should let you. I feel like on Instagram you should be able to like pull up things you could show people, because I
yeah,
love to show people,
Right.
you know,
because
the
you,
stills of the various
yeah,
outfits and
yeah.
ensembles. I think one of my favorites still is the outfit that Rain put together for you for episode 4. And I know it was one of the black tops that we had brought beforehand, but the little French, you know, button up versatile skirt, with the purse and everything.
Hmm.
It was definitely giving rich auntie, cousin. It was definitely like finally you had an outfit and situation going on that day that made me feel like maybe Kareem got a reason to be. Cause I understand why he might be cussing sometimes. Cause I said this definitely giving money. I said, oh, she been living good in LA on the West
I
Coast.
think episode 6 did it for me. Like
The funeral fit
that whole fit ate
r-
down bad,
real
because
bad.
if I just seen you walking on the street, I would have never thought that's where you was going. It was giving chic. It was giving runway. It gave everything it needed to give. It had like, it was just, even like the pieces that she put together, and it
Yeah.
had a little designer with it, but it wasn't too much. It gave money. I'm here. Like, I love. That's probably one of my favorites. That's top for me. I love
Yeah.
that one.
The funeral outfit was my absolute favorite. And
Yeah.
because I remember that day when we first shot the exteriors, I didn't know what was going on. Because I was like, no, Tasha's coming in her wardrobe. I'm like, Tasha came in a black dress. And then when Rain's like, no, I'm like, yeah, we ready? She's like, I'm no, Tasha's still getting ready. I'm like, didn't she come dressed?
Yes,
And then when I saw that, I was like, oh no, she wasn't in this.
yes. She came dressed because Tasha and I had talked about the outfit a while ago for the funeral. And so yes, there was an original outfit, and I'm like, yeah, that's what she doing. I had no idea there was a wardrobe change that week prior to the episode. I spoke to
Like,
Rain, and we talked about like, okay, she like, listen, I got this leather vest that got tassels on it, and I said, Rain,
absolutely not.
absolutely not. She's going to a funeral. There's already going to be a lot going on with this character at the funeral. A leather vest? I said, where does she think? And a Gucci belt? I said, what?
Hey, damn.
I said,
Hey,
absolutely
damn.
not. Absolutely not. That was the last I heard of it. That I was also confused because it was a lot. It was a very large production, as you all will get to see once the show was out. A lot of cast, a lot of moving pieces, a lot of different locations. So a nice size crew. We needed more crew. I think some of the crew was still in the chat. Larry, our DP, I think I saw in here at one point in time. Kenzo was in here too.
Shout out
I'm sure if
to
you asked
y'all.
them,
I'm like, I
yes.
just found a gaffer, y'all. So we'll wait till
Mhm.
season 2. Just, we don't need them,
So
but I got a contact.
we was a little strapped for crew, for this first season. So many of us are wearing many different hats and just taking on multiple jobs and things like that. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't have time. As far as I know, I'm like, okay, Tasha's on my list of people who are already dressed. They came dressed, so we should be moving on to the next thing. So I'm like, why would we be waiting for? And fortunately, by the time it was all put together and I got to see it, I'm like, oh, this actually looks really nice.
Right.
This actually looks really nice. I think it makes sense for the character because she
Mhm.
already been, doing it. So Tasha, I said it don't look like a lot of your castmates is in the chat, so maybe we can be a little honest, a little
Let
controversial.
me
I don't think we're gonna be the lives on the page. Who did you really enjoy working with, and who was challenging to work with? That's the word
Ooh.
I'll use.
Um, I feel like the same answer. It's the same answer for both. Um, I really enjoyed working with Ian.
Oh
Um,
Lord,
yeah.
and he's not even
he
in here.
also was
He's
a
going back.
challenging one to work with because he as an actor, he is a very generous actor. He gives you a lot. Um,
I said,
sometimes
now we're
he
gonna
just
have to
be
save this and cut it up and send it to him. He gonna act right this Sunday for you.
Let me see. Let me find them.
he's just bringing
Should I
everything to
hear?
the scene, just staying locked in. Even after you call it a cut, he's still locked in. So I'm like, all right, guy, calm it down. But no, he just gave me so much to work with, so much to bounce back off of, um, which added to that the intensity of some of our scenes because it's like, yo, you stay on 100 all the time, chill.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And so, it was fun.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's I'm glad that it just happened to work out, the two of you in those roles. Kareem Ian Thomas is who we're talking about. He plays Kareem in the series. One of Nia's cousins who she grew up with, almost like a brother. And we, get into the thick of their sort of conflict and the issues that they're dealing with as Nia's back home. Family problems, family issues that always come up and out when people are all back together again. And so, and they're all gathered for their cousin's funeral and trying to get the arrangements and everything together. But I'm really glad it worked out. I've been wanting to work with Ian again for quite some time. I felt like I've worked with him on some other people's productions in the past, and I felt like he had the potential to really to do different things, to really be more expansive as an actor. I actually, when I brought him in for this series, I was interested. I actually had him audition for a different role. Um, and since he was there, I was like, you might as well read for Kareem. You hear, you might as well, because I'm gonna say this too. I personally, and maybe with the exception of like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I don't. I don't know that I've ever met a light skinned Kareem or personally knew him. So I always, again, like aesthetically, I had envisioned Kareem being different. So there's no this. There's no this. I don't want, I don't want the folks after me, but it's just the truth as far as my own personal experience. So, but I was like, yeah, you should read since you're here, and yeah, I saw even in the auditions and the callbacks and the chemistry reads that I was like, oh no, he's going to do really well in this role, and I think, once we were able to get the two of you together for the chemistry reads, I was like, oh no, they're going to have a nice sort of, back and forth dynamic that's really going to, you know, be a thread through for the series in a very interesting way. So I'm excited. I'm excited for people to see it. I'm glad that, we're almost wrapped. And yeah, you guys, some of your scenes, the sort of back and forth and what happens between those two characters, between Nia and Kareem, um, yeah, has been some of my favorite things to go back and watch thus far as I'm in the post production process and sorting through all of the footage for season one and trying to prepare for that. Yeah, it's been interesting. It's been good to see. It always feels good as somebody who I consider myself to be an artist and to be like a craft woman, if you will. Before anything else, I don't consider myself to be an entertainer. I'm not a performer. I'm not somebody who does anything in front of the camera. So this will probably be the most people see me. But we got to show the push, show the sell. So everybody got to do their part. But it's the case that yeah, I'm just always interested in like will the things make sense, right? Like, have I done enough work? Have all of the things that I've prepared and been doing, will they work out? Will they come together in a way that makes sense for the story, for the production, for the visual story, for the visual audio, production and show or film that we're putting out? And so, yeah, I'm just glad that the choices have been lining up and working out. Uh, you know, um, okay, that's good to know. I didn't think your answer was gonna be the same person. I figured you might say Ruth or Marquise as far as your favorites because y'all have a lot of
There's so
chemistry
many
and a lot of
favorites.
drama.
There's there's so many. Like, I can't even say that there was a bad experience at all. And that's not just me just saying that because I'm on live. I'm saying, like, that's truth. Like,
Yeah.
there hasn't been a single person that I acted with that I was kind of like, oh my God, I gotta act with this person. Like, all of the actors
It better not
were,
be, but yeah.
Okay.
all of the actors were, I mean, just really professional, fun. We got to be silly and have our fun in between times. Um, yeah, I mean, I I could name so many people of wonderful things of Marquise, of course, of our scenes and like laughing in between, and same with Ruth, and all of them are just amazing.
Yeah.
And I mentioned Ian because we did a play together before where he took my
Okay.
son, he snatched my son from out of my arms and killed him. And so
Oh
Oh
I
Lord.
gosh.
know. So we have some, like, you always antagonizing me. Like, you stay
That's
following me
crazy.
to just bring this energy. What
Yeah,
is up with
that is
this, sir?
crazy.
No, that's more than antagonist. What the hell?
It was a play called The Trojan Women.
Okay.
And like I was holding my son and he snatched him out of his hands, out of my hands. But
Oh,
like, so I knew, so as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, here we go.
right.
Here we
Here we go.
go.
Right. That's
But
funny. I did not.
it's all love, but
Yeah.
it's also fun to play in those spaces because you have so much to do with
Yeah.
that. But yeah, but Keith or Ruth could easily be just, it's
Yeah.
all interchangeable.
Who? Okay. I got a couple of things, but I guess the one I'll ask first is who. Were there particular scenes with some of the other actors that you enjoyed, maybe more than others? Were there any favorites for you that stood out across episodes? And it may be difficult to remember what episode was what because we was doing a lot. But yeah.
Um, so there was the scene that Cousins Night where I'm eating off of Roger's plate. Like, I was just like,
Oh, yeah, okay.
snatching a
Man.
fry. And like, so we're just making this little back and forth, just improv and banter. Right before, another moment happens. I'm not gonna talk about because y'all gotta see it. But every time, the conflict comes, I would like throw the fry, just throw it at the plate, but I would miss sometimes. And sometimes I'd hit Raj, sometimes the fry pop off the plate. And then when we would reset, I'd pick a different fry. He was like, you don't want to get another fry? And I didn't find out until after the fact that was actually like his eating plate. Like he was eating
Oh,
those
he was eating
fries.
for real. It
That's
wasn't
hilarious.
prop food.
He was still holding the plate. I said, no, this is a prop plate now. It's a
That's
prop
funny.
plate now.
For sure.
And so
It's for sure.
that was definitely fun.
Yeah.
Working with him there and just working with the whole family. Those scenes were fun. Having so many different people coming in and out. And like that dynamic of having family and what happens when we experience loss and family comes together and what that looks like. Yeah, those were fun. Those were fun scenes. So many
For sure.
personalities in the space. Well, when Danielle crawling quiet on set, we was getting it together. We got it together.
They be quiet. They be quiet.
But when we leave, we be talking
They be
again.
talking again. Oh my
Oh, goodness.
gosh.
Yes. A lot of personalities. A lot of personalities. A lot of moving pieces. I'm glad that like I said, for the most part, things went well. Like, we didn't have any, the environment remained what it was, able to cultivate a certain kind of environment, and everybody was able to really like be in that space and enjoy it and not have no drama, no madness going on. That in of itself is a feat outside of just being in the thick of production, because I've definitely been in the midst of some things before.
Yeah.
Other people's work, sometimes a couple of my own productions, things going a little wayward because of people I hired. So it was good that that was not the case this go round. And this was probably the largest cast and crew I've worked with on a narrative, just in general, I think, thus far, as far as my own work is concerned. So yeah,
Yes,
happy about that.
I was gonna ask you that. I was gonna ask, like, how was it like having so many people that you have to direct? Like, were you nervous about the increased number from the pilot to season one? What were your feelings?
Yeah, it was a lot of work. I think if there was anxiety, it was really just more about wanting to make sure, all of the things were going to be, done, right. That, we were gonna have a smooth set of production days, things were gonna go well on set, that kind of thing. But I don't know if it's because I had so much producer work to do, because I didn't have a producer partner for this first season. I really didn't have too many worries or concerns about just the like creative element, just being able to just direct that number of people. I think I just didn't have time to focus on it. In the aftermath, maybe maybe it was like, damn, this was kind of crazy. But it worked out. You just sometimes you just be so busy you don't even have time to be. Oh, this is how I'm feeling about this. We just got to get it done. So that's kind of where I was with things. I there was something else I was going to ask you. Do y'all got stuff to ask Sasha? I can't remember what
Yeah.
else I was going to ask you.
To follow up with your question, Tasha, was there any episode that you were worried about or concerned about that you were nervous about actually doing?
Yeah, there was. Actually, I'm trying to see what I can say. What can I say? There was a location that we already mentioned it was a funeral. So the location where the funeral took place, I was super anxious going into that. Because most of y'all already know, like, my father passed earlier this year.
Yeah.
And so I haven't been like back to like a church for a funeral or for like a funeral home. Like, I haven't been back to like anything like that since then. And that was grief, the way grief be hitting. And so like I was like, I'm okay. And then as soon as I walked in, I'm like, I'm not okay. But that again, that's another testament to the environment that and the people that were part of the crew, because immediately like Rain like saw that I wasn't okay, and she made space for me to have like a moment. And I had one. I had a whole bunch of a moment, and again, just knowing that I was safe and I had an environment where I could fall apart and quickly get back together because we got to be on set. But feeling safe that it wasn't no one rushing me out of this moment, but just being safe in this moment.
Yeah.
And even this, again, the lengths that you went through to have a person actually be there for our grief. That really made me feel valued and supported, and not just, like I'm not just another person that got to get this work done. Like I'm actually cared about, not just to like pour my guts up on screen so it can look good. Like you're actually concerned about my well-being, which
Yes,
is
yes.
awesome and is refreshing. And so that made it a lot better. But that was definitely something that I was in the car kind of breathing about and then crying about, and then I'm like, I'm gonna do it, and then we did it. It was amazing doing it, and it felt great. And I can't wait till everybody can see it.
Yes, shout out to my Kiko. I really gotta get the we gotta get the post going on the page for all of the black owned businesses, services,
Yeah.
folks that we did business with for this production. But yeah, shout out to my Kiko who's there. She was our grief counselor, grief support on set. I believe it was
The
our
very
last
last day.
large day. Yeah, our last official, our original day. It was originally a 12-day shoot. We've ended up rolling into 14 because we had pickup days, reshoots we needed to do. But yeah, did you get a chance to talk to her?
I mean, I did. We spoke for a moment, but we didn't like deep dive. We didn't deep
Okay.
dive, but
Okay.
just
Okay.
having that, and because some of the cast kind of knew some of the things that were going on with me before, so they were able to kind of like make space, pour into me, allow me to just kind of cry, and I'm like, all right, let's fit this makeup because you ain't crying yet, you ain't crying on camera yet.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
and again, just feeling supportive. It really, like, I feel I miss like my work family. Like that's like y'all really built a family environment. Hey Rain, I was just talking about you.
Mhm.
Being there for me while I was crying. But again, the environment felt like family. So I was like, every weekend I get to hang out with my family.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've been missing y'all. Um, but yeah, I really appreciate the environment there.
Yeah. I'm glad we were able to do that. I mean, you got to take care of the people, also. I mean, that's important. You got to I mean, that's my opinion. I guess it's an opinion. But yeah, you got to take care of your people. Look out for your people. Everybody, it's been a rough year for everyone.
Yeah.
I say. A lot of people, cast and crew, lost loved ones. A lot of people grieving, loss of many things this year. And so, I do my best, while people are navigating the hardships of life of living in the society as it is, to, provide what we can, to offer what we can, to make sure folks are okay or well or as well as they can be. Yeah, I think it just doesn't make sense to me to be extractive, to ask people to come and put their best foot forward and give the best of themselves or what they're bringing, and not at least make sure, in some ways they're taken care of or okay or well. So yeah, I'm glad, you know, the love has been there, the comfort has been there, the family environment has been there, community environment has been there.
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah.
good to know and to know I can make it happen. I mean, you always hope for the best.
Mhm.
Have many desires and things from the outset, but you hope for the best and prepare for the best, and you just hope things continue in a certain way. So yeah, I there there was something else I was going to ask you about. I'm like, it's so much that could be said, but then also skipping around things because we don't want to give
Right.
spoilers and
Too
too
much.
much away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Rain, you got it. If you still in here, you got shout outs earlier. We was talking about your wardrobe work.
Lay
Tasha,
down,
Yes.
work.
girlfriend. Lay down.
Rain.
Lay
Yes.
down.
Hey, y'all calling Rain every 2 minutes on
Calling
set.
somebody. Calling somebody.
So much so that in our BTS videos, you hear her
Yeah,
calling Rain.
yes. I said that my voice done been used. I did not license.
It's all of it. It was a lot. My voice got used prior to this. So I said, now I'm not even a content creator. How did my voice get
Why not?
in the mix of
Why are
content?
we in it? Why are we in it? This
And,
on set
okay,
talking.
okay. Um, uh, Tosh, I wonder, because I know it's usually I think it's still like an hour, right? Is the time limit for live? So I guess we gotta start winding down a little bit. But I'm wondering, what are you like looking forward to, like as far as like season one? Like, what are you interested in? What are you hoping to see? What are you hoping people take away from your performance, which you've brought to the series? Um, all of those kinds of things.
Oh man, like when you put art out there, there's so many hopes that you have for it. And people just receive art how they receive it. But one of the things that I hope um is that it resonates with someone, that you feel that it's real. Um that
Larry
you
cutting up.
feel
Yes.
that,
Shout
yeah,
out
I
to
see
Larry in the comments, our DJ.
it.
Shout out to Larry, my ex-husband. Um, we're still working on
Her
things.
ex-work husband.
My ex-work husband, y'all.
Y'all gonna get back together. Y'all gonna get back together.
So he almost had to save me last time, but we'll talk about that another day.
Yes, Larry, you want to have your moment on live too. We I still you gonna have your moment. We gonna have you come in. We had to start with Tasha. We got to start with Nia. It's a song for Nia. We got to start for Nia with Nia. But you gonna be here in here too. In the weeks to come. But go ahead, Tasha.
No, yeah. Just I hope it resonates with people, that they can relate to it, they can feel it, they believe it. It makes them feel something. That's what I hope for. Anytime that I'm doing any art, I hope that people are feeling connected to it. They're believing what they're seeing, and they're able to, suspend their disbelief and go there and hear the story, because you created a very lovely story, a very relatable story. And so I hope that feels real from my performance, and it moves them.
Yeah, yeah. I think people are definitely gonna be moved. I'm excited for people
I'm
to see it.
I'm so excited. Like
Me too.
Me too. Me
any
too.
clips we look back at, I was like, I don't even think people get it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even
Everything was
think y'all
there.
understand yet. I don't even think y'all understand.
Hmm.
The acting was very, very, very
Oh
good.
my
Very good.
goodness.
The emotion was brought, So shout out to the cast for understanding the assignment and really doing what needed to be done.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's from a Freedom School theater
Yeah.
trainee up there. So
Hey,
that's how you know it's legit.
Yes, it was done really
Yeah.
well.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like for all the things that the like themes and things that we do explore in this show, grief, family, home, belonging, um, I was I'm interested in seeing how people are going to respond to like some of the comedic relief, those elements. It was a whirlwind after a while. That first weekend, we was running overtime the first day, and then the second day we spent, the whole day with you and Marquise, and then it was like, I think by the time we got to the end of that weekend, it was like the middle of the week already. I was like, sort of wrapping up that weekend, and I was like, shit, it's Wednesday. We got
Yeah.
to get prepared for the next
Mhm.
weekend. And that was when I knew. I was like, oh, this is gonna be kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, and it
Yeah,
was.
I know. I think, yeah, I knew it was going to be crazy when we did the table read and I actually saw how many people it was. And I was like, yeah, this is a little insane. And then I'm like, we had 3 episodes that were big. I'm like, damn, it's a lot of people up in here, but we're going to figure it out, I guess. I
Yeah.
mean, we did.
3 of the 6. And we got shout out to Tasha and oh Lord. Forgive me. Tell your friend to forgive me. I'm forgetting her name right now.
Oh, Liz.
Yeah, shout out to Tasha and Liz because they made our bi-coastal shoot
And
happen.
Yes, they
We
did.
shot in
Yes,
did.
they
LA
did.
too.
Yes, they
And
did.
Okay.
Yes.
did.
You know what we need to do now? We need to go after this Los Angeles money. I forgot. It'd be a lot of money out there funding for productions and stuff. I'm like, we ain't technically
Technically, I'm
we
like,
shot
we got one scene. We
right.
got
Yes,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
yes.
like, I'm glad I just thought about that. We gotta apply for
Mm-hmm.
their money. But yeah, shout out to them. What a little virtual help from me. And Tasha, I need to get my bring my tripod.
Yep.
But you on there? I,
Yep.
the amount of time it took me to set up the way I got this phone set up right now is crazy because my other clamp, I found my other phone clamp earlier, but it broke, and I'm like, I have a tripod with the phone clamp. Where is it? Tasha still got it, but okay. But yeah, a shout out to y'all. So, a song for the Pearls Girl Productions. We have officially, shot in multiple states. Well, technically for our narratives, because for docs, we've also shot in other states and things like that before. But for narrative, this will be the first time, we've been bi-coastal. So shout out to y'all.
Oh man,
I'm like,
I felt like I was holding my breath until Danielle called. I said, "Oh, y'all like it? Oh God, oh."
Right. And then I didn't even send you in a good way. I was like, all right, Tasha, so here's everything. Don't mess this up. Get it done. Come back
I'm like, okay,
with the
right,
okay,
deliverables.
right,
Thank you.
right.
no pressure.
I just thought I was gonna be able to. I mean, while I did do, like virtual directing and producing, so anybody who's looking for people to do remote work, get at me. But I was like, I thought I was gonna be able to be there a little more, but because of where we ended up sending them, it was like the signal was crazy. So it was like they had to keep going to one spot, talk to me. All right, do this. All right, go back, and you know what I mean. Versus me being able to just be there the whole time. But we made it work. So shout out to y'all.
Yes.
We only got a few minutes left, I believe. So Tosh, tell the people where you at, where they find you, what you're working on now. You always
Um,
working on something, claiming you ain't got nothing going on. You always got plenty going on. I said she in LA, she coming back, she doing a play. What else is going on?
I just finished doing a reading at Plays and Players. I'm doing another reading at Plays and Players theater in January.
Okay.
And so that's on like 17th, 18th in Delancey. And so I can put more information in my. I need to do better in my on my post.
Yes.
But yeah, just they can find me on Instagram, Facebook, sometimes, most of the
And
time.
what's your handle? What's your name?
My handle it is _ Tasha Holmes. And that's my name on Facebook too, because I couldn't think of nothing else. So I
That's
said
easy.
my
Straight to
name's
the
gonna have
point.
to be
Can't
enough.
forget that. Can't forget that. We can get right to you.
It's right to me. So yeah, and I'll put more information about any the reading that I'm doing in January online.
Okay.
That's it so far. So
Yes.
far.
Yes. Thank you, Tasha. Thank y'all for
Thank
joining us.
you.
Meet Danielle in the man of the night. It's been a pleasure. First
Yes.
time out.
Yes.
I'm like, I gotta go watch the game, see what's going on. Hopefully the Eagles not stressing me out yet.
Hopefully.
Hopefully not. Fingers
Ugh.
crossed. But yeah, we will see you on Sunday, Tasha, for our last
Yes.
official day of
Yes.
production for season 1 of A Song for Nia, a hand clap all around
Yes.
cast
Yes.
crew of
I'm
Oh
folks.
my God,
excited.
I'm
Shout
holding
out
my phone.
to I think Stephanie is still in the chat. She was the reason we got funding through IPMF. So shout out to her. Shout out to Independent
Yes,
Public
thank
Media Fund
you.
for funding us. We look forward to their continued support. uh, and keeping things going, keeping things rolling. So y'all have a good night. We should be back live next week. We'll see.
Next
Some other cast
Thursday.
members, some other crew members. We're gonna try to make our rounds and make our way around to everybody to talk to everybody. So good night.
Good night,
Good
Bye.
everyone.
night.